saying to me for NRG, they're saying, we're the better team, you're just better at throwing curveballs, and we're going to shut that down nice and early. Azir, the final ban for TL in the first half of the draft.
Tristana and Kaisa both up here right now, so I wonder what NRG, which direction they're going to go in this time around.
They are going Trist. Okay, so Trist was such a big pick in the previous series, but it was Trist-Jace matchups in mid lane over and over again, and Palafox was winning both sides of it. This time, of course, Jace is banned out, and Cassio had been the other answer for APA that he had been playing into Trist, so I'm really curious to see where he's going to go. It feels like in these kind of situations, he's fallen back on Ahri, and I'm curious if he has something new.
Yeah, I think they need to keep him on something with CC, some utility that can bring structure to those team fights. First, we're going to go with this bottom lane, though. They go on the Xayah side instead, even with the Kaisa left up here. So you have to think they'll probably try and take away that Rakan, because if you leave it up, Ignar loves Rakan. He will pick Rakan with any AD carry. He does not care. He loves to engage, and that is primary.
Yeah, surprised to see the Xayah picked over the Kaisa here, but Team Liquid trusting in what they want to play and the game they want to play. And it's Pyosik saying, all right, you know what? The Rakan can wait. We're locking in the Viego first.
Number 7.
Exactly, got the first ever LCS jungle pentakill on the Viego in this playoffs, looking for a repeat of that level of performance. And we'll see if Pyosik can really bring his best today, because I think he has been so good for TL, especially in playoffs, has really been stepping up and showing his worth.
All right, NRG, what are we going to go with? I'm not surprised at all. The fact that the Kaisa went through the first 2 rounds, third round here, it's going to be locked in for NRG.
I want to know if they're going to take away the Rakan, because if you don't grab Rakan here, very likely Core is going to grab it for the Xayah Rakan bot lane. Some people do really like Kaisa Rakan, to be able to have that as a bot lane duo, to have that engaged for later on, and it would be a denial pick. It's also in Ignar's wheelhouse, so I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Ignar loves this champion so much. Should be an easy takeaway.
But I feel like leaving that Rakan open, you have to know on Team Liquid's side that NRG's going to want to snatch it away. So I'm curious what they've got lined up to pick into it. What is the answer to deal with the Kaisa Rakan to go paired with the Xayah?
Also, if you don't pick up the Cassio here, you have to think that the Cassiopeia was
banned.
Ah, yeah.
So we can't quite do that yet, but they're hovering another one of the trademark picks of APA, the Aurelion Sol. We haven't really got to see a whole lot of that here in summer, but the Neeko, there's one he's not going to shy away from. There's one they're going to lock in for TL.
Yeah, APA's most played pick throughout playoffs has really been going back towards Comfort after they lost that series to NRG, where he was trying to play Tristana, trying to play Jace, was outperformed by Palafox. Has not been dominant in lane on this pick, but has been really good about finding critical engages in the 5v5s, and that's really where APA has been shining for TL.
All right, top lane's got to be big focus right now then. And with Team Liquid having red side, being able to save that counter pick for Summit all the way to the end, I think NRG are really going to have some issues right now. Rumble, Jax, both very big carry threats that you have to worry about if you're going to play weak side top lane yourself, which NRG have played a lot of.
And since we do not have exactly mirrored roles, means we're going to see different sorts of prioritization in the bans here in the second half. Team Liquid getting rid of that Maokai, that powerful zone control jungler. The Rel banned out by NRG. This is another one of those huge engaged champions similar to Rakan, even more popular actually, one of the premier engaged champions in the whole champion roster right now. They want to take that one off the table, and there, another signature pick. This time it's TL, looking at Contractz specifically, saying we know you'll play this, we don't want to deal with it.
And it pairs really, really well with these double marksman comps. It's really effective support of that. I'm going to be interested to see if there's another support ban here. I think Nautilus would make sense to deny that from Core, because Core really does thrive when he's on these hard engaged style champions. Instead, they're going to be banning away the Jax, which obviously would be problematic to get over to Summit. But my question is just, what are you going to be playing here? Because he can still go towards Fiora, can go towards Gwen, picks like this, if it is going to be something like a blind tank coming out from Dhokla.
And it probably is. NRG needs some frontline, they need some engage to set up these double marksmen that they have for themselves. So Team Liquid can kind of play right into that, knowing what's coming.
Exactly. With the Tristana Kaisa duo, you know you've got more than enough damage. So the front line's going to need to be that meatball wall to get in the way of it. Team Liquid, they're going to do exactly what you guys were talking about. They're saying, hey, we want CoreJJ on engage. Yeah, you already took the Rakan. Yeah, you banned the Rel. It's Nautilus locked in.
Sejuani could be a good jungle tank as well for Contractz. You can play it into the Viego, no problem. You can always get away from the Viego, and very, very tanky, so can serve that role. I like it.
It makes a lot of sense. I just wonder, is the melee pairing for Dhokla going to be powerful, right? Because that is really what you would like. Rumble does give them that power they can play whereas in the top lane. So he's throwing down the gauntlet here a little bit. You don't want to blind to tank against Summit because Summit will crush you on a Gwen, he'll crush you on a Fiora in that 1v1. So he's going with a super lane dominant pick here and kind of forcing Summit to have an answer to Rumble, which really people have struggled to find.
I love it because these are the big questions of this matchup with Team Liquid and NRG, is the top lane matchup and the mid lane matchup. And if Dhokla can come out in game number 1 and have a successful Rumble carry top lane into Summit, then that would do massive things for the series overall. But Summit is an experienced Aatrox player, to say the least, and Aatrox is in a very good state right now, we can say. Very, very powerful with the buffs.
That's one way to put it. This champion is incredibly powerful right now. I've seen a lot of conversation just in the LCS fandom in general. Why aren't we seeing more Aatrox picks? Summit's the kind of guy to not shy away from locking this in to that Rumble that a lot of different players have struggled in multiple different matchups with. I'm excited to see how this goes down.
We also have to see, is Dhokla going to go aggressive? Will he actually swap over to an Ignite? Is he going to stay on TP? Because, if you really want to try to bully this sort of matchup, Ignite can be really, really effective there against an Aatrox.
Man, oh man, Aatrox versus Rumble in the top lane to start it off. Welcome to Summoner's Rift for the first time today, and what I'm personally hoping is going to be 5 games. TL versus NRG. Winner gets to go on for a shot at the LCS trophy tomorrow. Let's see how they're going to start it off. APA already copying his support, getting a little emoting going on in mid lane.
So we do have one question answered. Is going to be TP for Dhokla, so taking the more kind of neutral or defensive approach to playing this top lane.
All right, as the teams stare each other down at level 1, we're going to toss now to the side as Gabby is standing by with NRG's coach, Think Card.
Thank you so much, Captain Flowers. I saw Palafox and Contractz were cheesing on the stage. I know everyone is asking, how are you doing with the energy management coming into the stage performance today?
I mean, we're feeling so good. We've already beat them before, so we're feeling confident. We just have to make sure that we don't play too confidently.
Tell me about the confidence in the top lane here, because we saw the Sejuani and the Rumble locked in. You got Aatrox on the opposite side, TP brought through. How's Dhokla specifically feeling into this matchup?
Yeah, we're feeling super confident right now. I mean, our top side is insane. We have Rumble, Sejuani, and Tristana, so we're expecting to have some early pressure, and if we play cleanly, I think we're feeling really good about this game.
All right, we'll see if you can keep it fresh and clean in game number 1. Back to the casters.
I like that NRG are coming into this series with confidence. Remember, in the first round of playoffs, NRG are the ones who sent Team Liquid to the losers bracket and forced Team Liquid on this long road to fight their way back here to finals weekend. But one of the big adjustments, like we were talking about in Champ Select that they made, was to deal with the mid lane. That was such a problem. And they have permanently banned away the Jace for now 14 games in a row since Palafox defeated them on it. And APA seems like he's found a much more comfortable set of champions that he can really provide some structure to team fights for this squad with.
Thinkard was talking a lot about confidence, and I'm just so curious to see, how these players are going to adjust in game number 1 in a big venue like this. Will they come out confident? Because to me, both these teams really do thrive in the chaos. They thrive in that aggressive early game. And are they going to be able to maintain that level of aggression? Or, as we see a lot of players do, are they going to take that step back and be playing a bit more passive as they feel it out?
So one thing that I'm going to point out here immediately in bottom lane, difference in summoner spells on your AD carries. It's cleanse for FBI, a heal for Yeon. Heal generally tells me they want to look for some of those early trades, some dominance in lane, because when you look across at NRG's champions, you've got some serious CC threats between the Rakan and the Sejuani. You get caught by one of those later, you're toast. Not going to have enough time to cast a Xayah ultimate to get out of it.
And with both junglers starting a bottom side of the map jungle as well, they're ending their routes up here towards this Rumble Aatrox, pushing lane for the Rumble. That could get very volatile. That ward that Dhokla had, the early ward toward the Tribush, has now timed out. So once Pyosik finishes up with his red buff, we'll see about these two junglers and how they want to play around the top lane. It looks like Contractz is coming through lane to get that extra vision and safety for Dhokla to really help out the Rumble, since you're perma-pushing basically from level 1.
Yeah, the Rumble that, as you just saw on your screen a couple of seconds ago, first time on Rumble for his LCS career for Dhokla, choosing to bring it out here in the big stadium match and really throw down the gauntlet against Summit.
Well, I think that's one of the most fun things about BO5 is seeing the adaptation, the pre-planning for these series. People can look at their previous series. They have so much data between that and all the other series that these two teams have played to really try to prepare what is exactly going to be the best for this series.
Little bit of scrapping up here in topside. Summit making sure to get the most out of those sweet spots as he trades back against the Flame Spitter. This spell and proper management of it is what makes Rumble so difficult to deal with in this lane phase. As long as you don't lose CS to it, as long as you know how to manage the heat, it's so difficult to trade against for practically any melee champion.
Absolutely, and one of the things that can really showcase mastery on the Rumble is exactly this last hitting while you're still using the Flame Spitter to actually be able to harass at the same time. And we see a lot of Rumble players, when they get the push, they'll go beyond the minion wave to deny a lot of that farm and make sure that they're not just auto-pushing with that Flame Spitter while they're harassing.
While we see Contractz up here kind of camping on top side, I want to also point out how Pyosik finished his route on the bottom side and put those two wards down.
Bottom lane, though, it's FBI in trouble, down to 300 HP. This is what I was talking about, the extra power, the heal, the 2v2. FBI is dropped, and it's first blood over to Team Liquid.
TL laid a trap there, and NRG thought they based. We saw that Ignar came out of the brush. You know, I was watching on the spectator client, came out of the brush, used his W on the wave, was trying to hard push that wave, and TL just caught them on that, was laying in wait in that side brush, gets a first blood.
Huge stuff here from Yeon, Rookie of the Year for Team Liquid, paired with former world champion CoreJJ, 2v2 kill in the bottom lane for Team Liquid. And you can see them riding off of this gold lead. This means plenty of bottom side of the map presence. Pyosik can just slide right over to the Dragon and turn that into an objective as well.
And the thing I always look at after a play like that, it's not gold that wins League of Legends, it's items. He's coming back to lane with a Noon Quiver plus the dagger, only the Kier Chase Shard for FBI, and Team Liquid with their extra power, just now coming off of the reset. They've got total control over the bot side river. It's a 5-minute and 45-second first Drake for Team Liquid and Pyosik.
And that's really concerning now for NRG. You know, they lose control of that bottom side, they lose control of the 2v2, they lose control of the Dragon, and now NRG, they're gonna be on the back foot here because FBI has no sums for quite a long time. And here we can see it one more time. They went for the fake base here, and watch, as Ignar spends his spells on the wave, TL knows they win this 2v2. Beautiful hook in from CoreJJ, immediate ignite, and Yeon follows through.
Yeah, they know. There's no knockup. Like you said, Ignar using it on the wave. CoreJJ flashes forward. They get the cleanse. They got the flash. They got the first blood.
And even back in live, you can see in the camera, the bottom left of your screen there, it was NRG coming bottom, trying to make a counterplay, trying to equalize what had happened because of that 2v2 kill, but it does not work out. Team Liquid's able to escape.
And I want to point out again, Pyosik back into the enemy jungle here on the opposite side on this Viego, going to complete extra pressure against Contractz while he sets up for a possible dive on bottom side.
Exactly. Yeon still has flash. CoreJJ only has the Hex flash. No ignite, no heal. We'll see if Team Liquid can outplay this one here, 2v3. Or
the wave is
NRG's
gone.
even going to do anything with it. I mean, the wave has disappeared, so Contractz won't find a dive angle here. TL's holding on just fine. Pyosik and Summit are stealing away everything from the jungle in the top half of the map for NRG at the same time.
Exactly, so TL has to know that they could be coming, and I think that's why they're contesting the 2v2, holding that wave off the turret so heavily, because you're farming the whole topside jungle.
It's not just a 3v2, it's a 4v2. Yeon flashes away, but CoreJJ is going to get burned up. Ignar barely disengages, and Yeon's going to fall too. NRG brings big Dokes bottom, and they get a big payoff. 2 for nothing.
And Palafox was even on the way. NRG say, if you 2v2 kill our bottom lane, we're bringing the whole dang squad.
I love that from Dhokla. He walked bot and saved the TP. So yes, he just goes straight bot off the base. Then he can TP back towards top, catches the wave, doesn't even lose a plate off of that roam. That is big time plays there from Dhokla.
Getting himself off the top lane island, taking a vacation into bot side. As let's take another look at it. Meanwhile, back in live. Okay, we didn't miss anything huge back in live. Let's go back to the replay here.
Yeah, Dhokla just sneaks down towards that bottom side. It took them a while to get the wave pushed in, but there's no way out for Yeon. The equalizer is perfect across both members. They try to turn and kill off Ignar. Don't quite have the damage to burst them down. A massive play there for NRG, and they're able to get a little bit of chip damage down on the turret, so FBI, great buy off of that one.
Now let's take a look at Rift Trails because we're past the 8 minutes here. It is reset up to the top side. Team Liquid does get chased off as we send Palafox towards bottom side for NRG. because he's got his teleport ready. Even though this is pre-unleashed teleport, he can still teleport to one of the towers.
Absolutely, and I was surprised though that TL didn't just hard force it, because there is no equalizer right now for Dhokla, and I think that's the window that they want to capitalize on. So CoreJJ's up here, and now I think they're going to hard commit to this Herald.
And I think NRG should just give it to them. There's no equalizer, as you say, so you've got Tristana, one of the best turret plate taking champions in the game, on bottom side of the map. And with the Demolish here, we're going to get at least 2 plates for Palafox in payment for that Rift Herald.
Exactly. Palafox cashing in. The Herald itself, if you're only going to get that minimum value, it's a plate and a half, 2 plates. Palafox utilizing the power of the Trist to trade equally on that one. Works out just fine for NRG.
Yep, and Yeon was also moving to be able to cover if there was a Rift Herald fight, so he lost a little bit of farm during that. So the advantage bot is well and truly gone. He's actually down a wave now in CS to FBI. FBI got the kill, got the assist from that roam down by Dhokla, and NRG now sitting in a really good spot here.
Yeah, I want to see what Team Liquid can do about the next Dragon coming up, because it's only barely over 1 minute on the arrival of number 2. Maybe they could set something up. CoreJJ now level 6. A lot of CC packed in that, plus a Neeko, plus a Viego. If you get there early, set up some vision, try and find an early pick, get a reset for Pyosik, we know how that can turn out.
Yeah. Even though the advantage for Yeon individually has disappeared in the bottom lane after that 2v2 kill, the fact that it enabled him to get that first Drake, 5 minutes and 45 seconds, that is a very accelerated Drake pace for the game. It means if they can keep that control and keep this up, that becomes an early win condition if you're threatening a soul not even 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and our question is answered instantly. Already CoreJJ setting up for it with the wards around, but Ignar answering and clearing them out.
And I feel like soul is always higher priority when one of the first 2 dragons is Chemtech, because no one really wants that soul. Like, that is the weakest
It's
one
off the
available.
table.
Exactly.
Nice.
So you know that there's going to be something decent available for you.
All right, let's see if we get either of those top laners wanting to walk all the way down for it. The teleports, even though they are now unleashed, are not available because of the cooldown. So if anybody wants to join, it's going to be the long way. APA, once again, going to get shoved in here in mid as Contractz and Ignar try to approach from the top side of the river. You can see the control wards placed down from NRG. They got control there. CoreJJ is the first to walk up to the Pixel Brush. Dredgeline back into Contractz, but that might be dangerous. NRG wants to counter engage. They immediately explode CoreJJ. Contractz is too tanky. APA with a flash and a pop blossom. Pyosik grabs the first kill. Now he's got the reset with Ignar's body. Forcing the flashback over the wall from Contractz. FBI and Palafox need to get away as Pyosik goes in with a heartbreaker and right back out with a flash.
A close fight back and forth there. Both teams kill off the enemy support. Do use a lot to do it though, so neither team is confident to actually stay around for the objective. CoreJJ first to engage, but Ignar just goes in with the immediate counter engage, and FBI joining from the bot lane with the killer instinct, plus Palafox coming down from mid, meant they grabbed first kill.
Yeah, this answers one of our questions at the beginning. Will they be a little bit trepidatious because it is finals weekend in a giant stadium? No. Instant answer there. There's an ult from FBI. Palafox jumps in immediately. They do not hesitate. They go for the kill. But Team Liquid answer very quickly. That power of Pyosik and APA with the Neeko and the Viego there does lock the counter kill down. So we'll return to the fight here. Summit looks like he's going for a purchase real quick. And Team Liquid do have the teleport advantage from top side.
Exactly. That's the big difference between what we're seeing now and what we saw in that previous scrap. Right now, there's TP for Summit, but no such thing for Dhokla. NRG's aware of it, so they can't hard force anything around this Drake until those are at least equalized.
Yeah, I think if they want to challenge, Dhokla would actually have to base and just walk bot, right? He'd have to be willing to do that. But there is some risk associated with that as well, and it looks like it is just going to be a TL Dragon very likely. Dhokla is moving down, though, so there is an opportunity that they could challenge here. He grabs some honey fruit in the top lane river, and is going to try to look to be involved.
Okay, Dhokla's just about to cross through mid right now. APA's got to be careful. He'll just walk down to join the rest of his team. Ignar's going to see him there. Emote flashed out. Summit's ready to join. Contractz over the wall. Ocean Drake stolen by Contractz. Equalizer finds its way into CoreJJ as Pyosik has to disengage. FBI's coming around from the side. The Pop Blossom's only going to get the tank. There goes the first one. Contractz is on the board. Palafox is going to fall in trade, but it's already a 2-for-1. Summit wants to take it further. Oh, they're still going, but APA gets cooked. Yeon flashes out to turn it a 1-for-1, but Summit will not relent. He finds another kill as FBI drops Yeon. It's Summit versus FBI and Ignar, and Summit is trying to make the play. Flash out from FBI, and Summit finally loses answers the ulti. FBI still trying to escape. Q1 gonna be canceled there. The nice grand entrance, and the dust settles. 3 for 4.
Summit was going crazy in that fight. He was ignored on the backside, TP'd in, knocked Palafox out of the air to start the fight. And even though NRG was crushing the rest of his team, Summit was a man on a mission on this one, Kobe.
Summit was a one-man team there at the end. At the beginning, though, Contractz steals away the dragon to now split dragons with Team Liquid. And Dhokla actually had a pretty big impact there with his ultimate as well. But Summit goes right for Palafox, and Palafox down without an auto-off in that fight. Just massacred them. So while there was a big early lead for NRG, Summit is able to get the resets on Aatrox and just lifesteal tank up the rest of the team. FBI even has a little bit of a late flash coming up here after the chain, which makes it very necessary for them to run, and they know they cannot take down that aspect of war.
Absolutely. I mean, Summit just kept getting the resets, had the perma ulti, and now he has the Dusk Blade. The Q2 on the rocket jump from Palafox, though, was what really, I think, turned that fight, more towards his favor. He got the first kill without even having to pop the ulti, was able to pop it, had a good time to extend the duration of it. So really smart play there. Delayed his ultimate until he actually needed it to make sure that it would last him throughout the entire fight.
And let's not forget, everything started off with Contractz stealing away the Drake to make sure that Team Liquid didn't continue building that lead. Honestly, gentlemen, we have a bloodbath. 12 kills in 14 minutes in game number 1 of this qualifier match for the final. Let's see what's going to happen around this second Herald, because Team Liquid is nearby, but it's absolutely NRG's control over the topside river right now.
It's also Hextech's Soul that will be on the table, and that, especially for a double marksman team, is incredibly powerful. So I think we're going to get a lot of these team fights throughout the game.
All right, so pretty big one-item power spikes coming in for the side of Team Liquid after that fight as well. We got the Dusk Blade finished on Summit, so even more massive reset potential for this Aatrox. Everybody going to keep their eyes on that one. Dhokla now is recalling from bottom lane with an Unleashed Teleport ready.
Exactly. That's what you got to keep your eyes on. Team Liquid, they've got the Herald down to 3K. Contractz coming in, forces out the ulti from Yeon immediately at the start. Ignar's going to be interrupted, but CoreJJ is going to get killed. APA with a pop blossom on 2. FBI drops. Contractz now has to try to get out of Palafox. Is going to get heartbroken. Pyosik picking up the kill. Contractz is on the run, and Pyosik ain't done. He'll keep putting bullets in his back, and he wants the explosive shot. There's the last one. A double kill back over to Pyosik. A 3 for 1 for Team Liquid.
What a turnaround engage there from APA, setting up Pyosik and Summit to again go crazy in that fight. TL deflect the initial engage with the ulti from Yeon. Yes, they lose core, but it doesn't matter because their carries go crazy.
Yeah, FBI got destroyed. He had nowhere to go with his ultimate. Let me see if there is a possibility with his killer instinct here. CoreJJ was the only one with plasma on him. Yeah, you don't get to move.
Nope.
Bits of bounce house in there. APA into the Aatrox, demolishing that Kaisa, and poof, both those carries are gone.
And Palafox again, not having much impact in that fight. APA was able to sneak a route through multiple champions and actually clip him at the very end of it. He didn't see it coming, and that meant that Summit and Pyosik were both able to jump in on top of him and burst down Palafox for the second fight in a row without him being able to do anything.
And that is the main adaptation that Team Liquid have made since getting knocked into the lower bracket by NRG. They have put APA on these facilitator champions. So much CC he can bring to these team fights to set up his teammates to get so many kills.
And talking about Palafox, he just had to use the flash up there. So now that that's on cooldown, not going to be ready. It's 35 seconds until the Hex Drake spawns. Pyosik is not afraid to just ride the Hex Gate straight into the darkness. He knows nobody wants to find him.
I mean, they're feeling really confident, and TL again is setting up aggressively on that bottom side. You can see Core in the river, Pyosik invading the enemy jungle, APA is down there. There's multiple members from TL in that bot side. So NRG are trying to punish them for that, trying to push up towards this top tier 1, use Palafox to pick up some gold on the map. But it's going to be a difficult proposition because Summit is there defending that turret, and he is incredibly strong at this point.
APA also working on taking out this tier 1 turret in the bottom lane. Despite all the kills, despite 16 kills in 17 minutes, no turrets taken down yet. Palafox could easily remedy that. APA could do the same. It's a race for first turret. Let's see who's going to win. An equalizer in the bottom lane makes APA stop just long enough for NRG to get the bonus gold.
Ah, Tristana wins the turret race. I'm shocked. It was a close one there, though. Does get answered on the opposite side, and it's still incredibly close here for this game. But coming mid with the Rift Tail, Team Liquid will for sure be able to charge down this turret. even though there are energy players in the area. It might be a flank opportunity for Ignar. You see him in the Raptor pit here, looking for an angle.
Oh, but they immediately just engage on Contractz instead. TP coming in from both sides here, as now you got to disengage from NRG. It was actually the double TP from Team Liquid, Summit and APA, both ready to reinforce their troops. They're going to get a second Herald charge off. Even though it's just Herald and 5 champions, that's enough. Tier 2 falls, Team Liquid up over 1,500 gold.
Nice aggressive movement. Dhokla looking for APA.
APA's got to disengage from that Rumble. He does not want to stick around in the overheated Flame Spitter. NRG still seeing if maybe they can catch something off the back end of this, because what was originally a 1-for-1 trade in Tier 1 turrets and side lanes ends up being +1 Drake, +1 Tier 1 mid, +1 Tier 2 mid, all for Team Liquid.
It's worth noting, despite the fact that Palafox hasn't been able to have a big impact in these last 2 fights, he's actually the richest member of either team in the game right now, because he has spent a lot of time in side lanes, got those bot lane plates, got the first turret gold up the top. So he's going to have a quick second item here.
Yeah, the double static shivs on the side of NRG do allow them to keep those minions in check, no problem. That is very good value out of that Rift Herald from Team Liquid, though.
Yeah.
Really massive to get 2 towers with it off of that push, even though they had to invest this top lane teleport, which we keep having desynced teleport timers for these 2 teams. Now we're on the timer where NRG are the ones with Dhokla's teleport as an advantage.
And we'll have to see how these teams can actually really play the map, because I think one of the criticisms of Team Liquid, especially in the regular season, as we see if Core can get away here.
Yeah, Ignar's coming around. He wanted to use the Hex Gate to cut him off, but CoreJJ escapes to his team in time. He's burning away, he's marked with Plasma, but there's no way for FBI to try to jump in any further. We already used the Killer Instinct, so NRG won't find a kill, but they force Team Liquid back far enough to allow Palafox to take another Tier 1 turret.
Exactly, they push him out of that bot side river, they claim a tower, Summit lying in wait in that side brush in bot lane, so I'm going to be interested to see if he can get a jump on Palafox, but Palafox will back off. But either way, you know, one of the criticisms of TL has been, yes, you have an incredible early game, but what do you get done in the mid game? Do you make those mistakes? So now, without the double TP up, I want to see how they navigate these next couple minutes. Will they still look to challenge that Dragon? Will they be there in time?
And they're going to start up the Baron. Dragon, what is that? Team Liquid immediately onto the Baron. Pyosik's on a big 2-item power spike too, well ahead of a lot of other players in the game, and this thing is burning down.
Summit's coming around from the side. Contractz and Ignar are going to be careful here, but they might be able to turn it around back onto the Team Liquid top laner immediately. The Baron is still burning away. It's going to be secured by Pyosik as Summit has to try to dash back over the wall, but he's going to be killed shortly. Shut down back over to Palafox. Team Liquid got the Baron, but now they're on the run. NRG won't be able to find anything else just yet, but Palafox still looking with the rocket jump. No, he won't find it. APA's clone going to be used to make sure NRG's not still chasing. It's a Baron for 1 trade. Team Liquid immediately pull the trigger.
So quick there. Incredible. Only 1 player plus possibly mid-tower here traded for that Baron, and Pyosik is on the hunt.
Can Team Liquid find anything here? No, NRG still just pathing back down into this bot side river. There's no Drake spawned right now. It's not like NRG's going to get a whole lot back from that. The Baron power play right now is sitting at -90, but there's still 2.5 minutes almost for Team Liquid to try to bulldoze some turrets buffed up with this.
And it just seemed like some split decisions there from NRG. You know, Dhokla was trying to go into the pit with the equalizer. The rest of the team was trying to engage away from the pit and try to win the fight, and they're not able to get on the same page to really punish Yeon.
Oh no! Dhokla! He rode the Hex Gate straight to hell. Team Liquid picks up a freebie.
Oh, you can say that again. That's about as free as they come. Delivered in lights, and Team Liquid, since they've got the Baron, they can just turn this into a bottom siege. They've got a minion wave on the way for them right now. They look they are cruising through this mid game. No hesitation on that Baron. They knew they had the DPS with a double item power spike for Pyosik, as well as having Yeon there. They just melted through that thing.
And now they're going to melt through the Tier 2 turret. Team Liquid's gold lead up to 2,500. They're at +1 Drake. Kills even at 9-9. NRG just taking a defensive stance, trying to hold on. There's still Baron for another minute and 15 seconds.
Absolutely, and they're still going to have that available for this next Dragon in the replay. Avert your eyes, NRG fans, as Dhokla signed, sealed, delivered right into the pockets of TL there.
Those Hex Gates are dangerous. Your jungle is not your jungle anymore. And Team Liquid have taken over. And they get the reset off Baron not going to last for too much longer. Doesn't look like they're going to get a bunch out of it. Even though there's 50 seconds left, no more sieging to be done, and we'll turn our eyes towards that dragon instead.
Exactly. Pyosik already on the way into the bot side river. He'll be able to take control over this. He's got APA pushing in the bottom lane. He's got Yeon with CoreJJ shadowing him, pushing up the mid lane. He knows they have total control over this area. They're going to get soul point now 23 minutes into the game. Palafox will trade it back for a tier 2 turret in top to try to make up some of the gold distance. But meanwhile, back in mid, Yeon and CoreJJ are not facing enough opposition to stop them. They're going to knock down this tier 3.
And they're getting bot as well. They're actually pushing through bot and mid at the same time. That bot lane tower may survive as APA is going to be forced to run here, but they get a lot from that. Oh, they are going to look for APA.
Ooh, Contractz ulti just barely going to miss the mark. APA utilizing the little bit of movement that you get from the rocket belt to dodge away from it.
But even though TL are in a pretty commanding position here, NRG are not out of this just yet, and they're moving towards their third item on both Palafox and FBI. Those are going to be big spikes for both of these carries. So if they can get a good fight around that soul point, deny that Hextech soul from TL, this is still anybody's game.
Team Liquid grouped up bottom. They have both of these tier 3 turrets at such incredibly low health. It would be very simple to walk up and knock a couple of autos into one of those and take it out, and it looks like that's what the plan is. Summit is up in the top lane, but he has his teleport ready to go. Equalizer used to block the entire lane, so there's nowhere safe for Team Liquid to go. Pyosik, defensive heartbreaker, back over the wall to rejoin his team.
All right, good Rumble ultimate to stop the siege there. Defend the last little remnants of their base for energy, but man, the damage has been done. Team Liquid with such a massive mid-game push.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Baron, a big injection of gold, but we do have the Ludens now coming through here for FBI. BT is going to be next on the docket for Palafox. And it's going to be all about the setup for this next dragon fight, because you cannot afford to give any more dragons if you're NRG. You have to stop the Hextech Soul. It is so incredibly powerful. Contractz, though, potentially caught out here.
Yeah, Summit's going over the wall. He's already found the enemy jungler. He's got Pyosik right next to him. Dhokla wants to reinforce it, and the TP coming in to make sure NRG does not lose this fight. Ultimately, Team Liquid decides to retreat, seeing the resources committed, but now CoreJJ is ready to rejoin. Dhokla and Palafox making their way down into the bottom lane as Palafox sidesteps the Spectral Maw. That could have been dicey.
Now they've got the rest of the team coming here, so Team Liquid going to have to exit the area. You have to be a little bit wary when you're retaking areas of the map like this after your opponents have just been hard pushing, because you have to assume they will have the big vision advantage. Left wards behind. There's an ult hits.
Nice catch coming out, but where's the damage to follow it up? Pyosik can walk away from it just fine. APA's ready to reinforce here with a pop blossom, but he ain't gonna get nobody. NRG now seeing what they might be able to turn around as an equalizer finds its way onto the bottom lane, and jungler of Team Liquid. Contractz tanks up a little, and Team Liquid keeps walking it away. There goes FBI. There's the killer instinct. Yeon with a flash over the wall to survive, but CoreJJ can't say the same. Team Liquid has lost a single man, and NRG wants to make it more. Summit with a dash, making sure he doesn't get hit by another Void Seeker. TL disengages.
There's pings over by that Baron, so they want to reclaim some of this Baron vision here, but the problem is this next dragon's going to be up, and you spent your flash on both Ignar as well as Dhokla for something that didn't really amount to much. You've got a little bit of gold, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. They'll have to capitalize on the missing flash from Yeon.
Yeah, at least, exactly. At least they did get the flash out of Yeon in trade for those having to blow it defensively to escape over the wall. In the end, you only get one kill for yourselves, but one of the biggest things was Palafox buster shot onto APA Neeko as the ult is coming in. They need to have some sort of answer, some sort of denial for these big Team Liquid engages, because APA has been finding their carries, been finding their backline.
Especially because he TP'd in between the front line and the back line. It was such a good TP location for Neeko there. You know, it could have been an absolute disaster for NRG had Palafox not found that buster shot, so well played by him. You can see APA now approaching his death cap. Third item spike's going to be coming through for the TL carries here fairly shortly as well, but both Palafox and FBI have reached their third item. You can see a lot of spell pen built up by Dhokla, and he's grabbing the stopwatch. Everyone is going to be trying to get as powerful as possible for this next fight, because this next fight could be the game.
Exactly. Everything remains on a knife's edge. NRG are trying to do a two-man Baron, but a control ward over the wall from TL is going to see it.
They want Summit to TP, and now they're going to get Summit TP. They likely will back off here.
Okay, the Baron, the DPS has been stopped. Summit's coming in. APA's still off on the flank. Ignar and Contractz, gotta be careful here. Ignar ready to go in, here with a quickness. Equalizer's already been dropped. CoreJJ on the front, popping the stasis, trying to stay alive. They mistime the grand entrance, but it won't matter. FBI's got a kill. Team Liquid, 4v5 now. NRG still having plenty of HP left. Another Void Seeker finds Yeon. He's down to 1/3. NRG's going to take that as a green light, and they're going to go right back to Baron.
All right, they're going to start it back up. Summit's going to fish around the backside. Pyosik looking for a way into steal, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it.
They immediately want Summit. Palafox and Contractz go over the wall, and with Aatrox gone, Baron is NRG's for the taking.
And then guess what? Only 28 seconds later is Dragon. They can Baron-empowered recall and immediately run straight to that Dragon with the Hex Gates. Team Liquid, they do take the opportunity to get that mid tower, though.
Exactly. They got the 1 tier 3, at least in trade.
And Summit's death is so much more costly because he spent his TP to die.
Everybody from NRG's coming in together. They're playing it different this time. The Hex Gate has brought the whole squad to Team Liquid. APA tries to get out. He's got to keep running. Ignar almost caught up to him as the Void Seeker goes right between the uprights. Here's the stun from Sejuani. APA's down to a quarter HP. Pop Blossom ain't going to do it. And CoreJJ's the cherry on top. Pyosik won't get hit by Ignar, but NRG's already picked up 2 more for free, and the Drake is going their way too.
We're looking at real-time machine learning from NRG there. They're like, this time around, we're sending the tank in first through those dangerous Hex Gates, and Contractz tries to chase them down.
Yeah.
What an adaptation there. Off that Baron-empowered reset, Team Liquid are like, oh my God, we have to get something back. You could feel the pressure from their side. They wanted to try and stop NRG from making this big comeback, but they just cannot. They do not have the numbers.
Absolutely. They were trying to get a pick. If they picked off a carry, they wanted to try to get Soul. They wanted to try to get Dragon with that to be able to really take something back. But Contractz being the first member through shut that down. And NRG's carries now are really becoming a problem here for TL.
I sincerely hope game number 1 is indicative of the entire series. This has been a back and forth between these two teams, and it has been a hell of a good time to watch. NRG now barreling down the bot lane with a whole lot of minions. They're ready to put the pressure on the Team Liquid base. Pyosik and Summit off to the side here. They don't want to enter just yet. Double cannon minions providing the DPS. That turret is dropping pretty quick.
We also have to remember APA no flash. He actually tried to re-engage as he died, used the flash to do it. That is a massive tool missing from Neeko.
All right, bottom lane tier 3 turret at about 1/4. Mid lane turret singing the same song thanks to Palafox. The pressure is on. Team Liquid are now where NRG was 10 minutes ago, but it's real hard to hold on. Contractz with the engage. Yeon is already dead. There was no cleanse. There was no way out. APA and the rest of Team Liquid heading right back into the fountain as NRG will chase them off of both inhibitors and continue their push now. They're going to go straight for the Nexus if I had to guess. Team Liquid, 4v5 defense. They got to try to hold on. Void Seekers flying out. First Nexus turret down below half. So many cannon minions just providing the damage. TL cannot find an angle. Summit wants the Infernal Chains. Palafox walks right out. Nexus is open. Team Liquid cannot contest. NRG are going to go straight for the win, and they are going to take down Liquid and take game 1.
NRG pick up right where they left off round 1 of playoffs with Team Liquid. They open it up with another win here. I will say, though, this game was really back and forth. Team Liquid had a nice 2,500 gold lead in their hands. 3 dragons so close to the soul. They had pushing power. Really, really close.
Extremely back and forth game. Really fun one to watch.